Newly elected MPs of the Bharatiya Janata Party-led National Democratic Alliance will likely meet in New Delhi today. The meeting will be held to choose Narendra Modi as the leader of the alliance. After this, Prime Minister Modi, along with NDA leaders, will meet the president at around 5 p.m. is what we are learning. After being elected as the NDA's leader, Prime Minister Modi will take the oath of office for his third term as the PM at a swearing-in ceremony likely to be held on the 9th of June. Is what we are learning. Akshit Gupta, my colleague, is joining us live at this point in time to give us more updates about this. Akshit? Akshit, are you there with us?
Yes.
All right, Akshit. What more can you tell us about the date of the swearing-in ceremony? So far, what we are learning that it has been slated for 9th of June, but there were also talks about having this on the 8th of June or even later perhaps. So what are we hearing about the confirmation of the swearing-in ceremony?
Well, yes, all eyes have turned to now National Democratic Alliance meeting, which is going to begin anytime soon at the central hall in the Parliament. And perhaps if I just tell you that you talked about the swearing-in ceremony, so it's likely that what we are getting to know it's going to take place on June 9th, and perhaps most of the South Asian leaders have also been invited, and around 8,000 dignitaries have been invited for the swearing-in ceremony of Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister of India. When we talk about the political developments in the national capital, then amid the hectic political parleys which are taking place for the composition of the Union Council of Ministers, then key NDA meet is taking place today, where the state chiefs of the Bharatiya Janata Party and the chief minister also and the newly elected MPs have started arriving to basically work out a formula to form the government. And perhaps what we are getting to know is that, as we know, that BJP fell short of the majority mark, so it's also working out a formula with its constituents, Telugu Desam Party and JDU, of course Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar, as to which ministries will be allocated, because there have been talks about the portfolio demands also. So of course it's quite imperative to keep an eye as to how these things pan out in the meeting, and what's the agenda also which is actually laid out in the meeting. So of course it's going to begin in a while from now.
All right, Professor D.K. Giri, political analyst, is joining us on the show at this point in time, and Mr. Himanshu Bhatt, senior journalist, also joins us. Rajalakshmi Joshi, political analyst, also with us this morning. Rajalakshmi, I'll begin with you. Well, the oath-taking ceremony is likely to take place in a couple of days, but what's more important and what in fact is going to keep the interest alive in the next few days is also the combination that the NDA is going to come up with when it tries to resolve issues with its allies and their demands.
Good morning, Vineet. Yes, the allies are definitely putting in whatever request you may say or demands, because all of them have actually said, officially whatever they have said is that they are giving an unconditional support to PM Modi and for this government. So at the same time, it is quite natural that they will have certain expectations out of what they are going to be getting out of this alliance as well. So they, as a thumb rule, whatever I have understood is that they have kind of arrived at a conclusion that maybe for every 4 MPs, they will have one ministerial berth. That is a kind of situation I think that they're arriving at. So that is how most of these alliance partners, they are demanding the ministries. So, but at the same time, the BJP is also they're going to keep the major some of the portfolios with them, like for example the Home Ministry, External Affairs Ministry, Defense Ministry. So these are the key portfolios which definitely the BJP would like to keep with themselves. And at the same time, I think that Mr. Nitish Kumar, he was looking for the Railway Ministry, which I think is a little doubtful that will be given to him. And also, there are certain requests for the Agriculture Ministry, Panchayati Raj, and certain ministries of that sort. So, maybe in the course of this meeting today, all these things will be decided, and the roadmap toward the next term will be chalked out. So as it is, PM Modi has already had these discussions about the roadmap for the next 100 days. So I'm sure that he will have all these discussions. And also there is this formality of all these MPs voting in favor of their party, of their leader, who is going to be the prime minister. So even though the BJP and the NDA had contested on the face of PM Modi, at the same time there is this formality, there is this protocol by which they will have to elect their leader. So that also process will be done today, Vineet. And at the same time, I think that all of them are actually looking at certain things, like Chandrababu Naidu. He is not being unreasonable in asking about Amravati, and at the same time, all the financial situations also will have to be considered. So I think that they will definitely come to some kind of a reasonable conclusion. So they must have had these discussions even before the formation of the alliance, of course. And special status for the state of Andhra Pradesh, because they definitely have suffered a little bit because of the formation of Telangana, and because Hyderabad went away to Telangana. So similarly, I think in Bihar also, Bihar is one of the most underdeveloped states, I would say, as of today. So maybe they are also looking for a special status. So all these kind of assurances, all these kind of discussions will definitely happen. And but at the end of the day, the NDA definitely seems all set to be swearing in on the 9th, and with what I hear is the full ministerial cabinet will be ready, and they will all be taking their oaths on that particular day. So they look all set, and I hear that that a few more independent MPs are also joining. So the number is going on to 303, which is a much more formidable figure. And definitely, I think that they're all doing this on a very positive note. We see a lot more new faces in this alliance in this term, and at the same time some younger faces as well. And let's see, there's a lot of hope, because there is a lot of freshness also. Mr. Chirag Paswan, and with the addition of the TDP, and Mr. Pawan Kalyan also, though he may not be a part of the central government as such, but then his contributions also will be there. So I think that there is definitely going to be a lot more freshness, and at the same time, the strength and the attitude of PM Modi and the BJP, Vineet.
Professor Giri, how do you look at the situation? Rajalakshmi brought out the special status conversation that is perhaps going to happen between Prime Minister Modi and Chandrababu Naidu. But, by all terms, in definition, Andhra Pradesh does not qualify to be given a special status. Neither does Bihar.
Well, in the parliamentary party meeting, I don't think any of these things is happening. It will be a customary meeting, reposing their faith in the Prime Minister, in the leader of the alliance, who will be taking over as the Prime Minister, and there would be all these hyperboles taking place in the parliamentary party meeting. The negotiation for respective interest will take place backdoor, and it has been happening since the results were out. It is the art of negotiation really in play, and it is a coalition government, and the NDA needs every member of parliament to be there. Because they are sort of the numbers, so they would be sensitive to other people's demands. Like Chirag Paswan was saying, that contrary to a popular or opposition perception that Narendra Modi ji is arrogant and unaccommodative, that's not correct. He says he is a very humble person and quite accommodative, given his perhaps humble background, but that people negotiating with him will know. Your specific question on whether Bihar needs a special state recognition, that has been a demand of Nitish Kumar and Tejaswi Yadav whenever they were together from the center. it has been a long-standing demand by JDU, and I think this time he will try to extract his pound of flesh. So Bihar does, there is pockets of poverty and backwardness. So special status is given to the border states, and whether Bihar deserves it is a matter of discussion. But this has been a very old political demand from JDU. So he will press it this time because he has the tool to do so. About Chandrababu Naidu, I have not heard that he is demanding a special status, but he is a very clever politician. He would demand the plum positions in the cabinet and continue to demand a generous deal from the center, from Andhra Pradesh. After the partition, is going to build the capital, a new capital in Amravati. He would need support for that, and he is a very tech-savvy person. So, and his demands are on the ministries and the speakership, etc., that we saw in the press. So I would say that it is really a difficult negotiation for India, but they would running the government overcome that. But the Nitish Kumar is very wily politician and not very dependable. He is a known turncoat in Indian politics. So Modi and BJP will be very wary of Nitish Kumar. Chandrababu Naidu has been also the convener of the opposition alliance twice and of the NDA. So he is also very shrewd, but he is more consistent than Nitish Kumar. So I don't think NDA will have more worries on his account. So it is really a different avatar that our Prime Minister has to embrace, because he never had to run a coalition government as a chief minister in real sense, really. He always had absolute majority, even as chief minister or prime minister twice. But this is a challenge for him. So, and then let's see how it turns out. I will not make any predictions. In politics and Indian politics particularly, making prediction, as you saw the exit polls and the others, people crying in television for their folly. So I would refrain from making any prediction like Rajlakshmi is doing. But I would surely say that it is a difficult exercise, but I expect BJP to overcome this challenge.
All right. Mr. Bhatt, do you think it's a challenge to begin with? The TDP and the JDU going to the Indi bloc and coming to the NDA are two different, ecosystems and, galaxies altogether. Obviously, the Indi bloc in itself seems to be very unsettled. It comprises parties that don't trust each other. But here, obviously, the BJP has shown a lot of solidarity, has shown a lot of support to JDU. And even in Bihar at the assembly level, they are allies. So the likelihood of, this actually running like the coalition governments of 2004 and 2009 is a remote possibility.
Yes, I'll agree with that, what you said. It's actually a remote possibility that will be run like a Manmohan Singh government of coalition. No, it will not be that. But I do feel that what is going to happen is, whatever has been coming out in the press on the case of demands and other things, that's already been sorted out, that who is getting involved. And mind you, my friend, you don't forget that BJP has 240. When Manmohan Singh led the government, on first term he had 145, and second term at the most 206. So there's a difference in number. Another thing what you got to understand is, in a central ministry or in the house of 543, the number of ministers what you can have, what Rajlakshmi said very correctly, is, one minister every 4 MPs. Now, if we go by that logic, which generally happens, is about 60 ministers, 55 to 60 ministers from BJP itself, and then proportionately given to the other elements. Now, this will sum up to about 3 for Chandrababu Naidu and 4 for Chandrababu Naidu and 3 for Nitish Kumar. And Nitish Kumar asking some posts and some special packages and other things. I'll tell you something. What is going to happen is, what is my gut feeling is, there will be a special package for the development of Amravati, not for Andhra Pradesh, as a city in the lines of high-tech city of Hyderabad. Amravati will be put on par with Hyderabad's development and what we call Cyberabad. That's for Andhra Pradesh. Another thing, Chandrababu Naidu wants to rule Andhra Pradesh. He doesn't want to come to center by himself. So his people getting ministries is certain. 3 to 4 ministerial posts are certain. But what post they will be is a question. Now here I feel, some of the high-tech and new age ministries could be given to them, but not the core fundamental ministry. As far as Bihar is concerned, a special package for Bihar, not so much. But what is on card is, you have a rural developmental ministry. You already have a rural developmental ministry fund, which could be increased and it could be given specially to a state like Bihar for its development. There are so many aspects in Bihar which need to be developed. And this is what Nitish Kumar has been asking. And as far as 10 crores are concerned, let me tell you a figure. You'll be surprised that out of 136  10 crores which were given tickets by BJP, nearly 90% of them have lost the election. This is a really good statistic for BJP to ponder about. And taking a lesson from that, if you have 90% of the people who have just recently joined BJP losing the election, BJP will give a straight signal to their allies that if you want to become a turncoat, please do so. Because the numbers say that if this 28 goes, still India alliance does not form a stable government because it will have only 262. So the numerical mathematics is something very, very different than what is the public perception being projected. So I don't expect, maybe Nitish Kumar would have said, I want a railway ministry, I want to come to center. But then Nitish Kumar coming to center, BJP might give him a railway ministry. Because then BJP will rule the state of Bihar. And it will be a double-engine sarkar, where they will be able to do what they want to do, and Bihar is going to polls. Don't forget these political permutations and combinations. So it will suit them.
But Rajalakshmi, there are other parties as well. There are smaller parties, 18 of those that have also secured a mandate in their favor. BJP and Home Minister Amit Shah and JP Nadda, known for their political astuteness and strategic mindset, will try and make sure that over the next few months or years, the count that the BJP has secured somehow gets to a point where it crosses 272. Do you think that's a possibility?
That's very much a possibility, Vineet, because like I told you, there are some independent MPs who have already joined the NDA fold, and the number of NDA has gone up to 303. So, there is very much a possibility that some of these independent MPs may also, without all these things about anybody breaking away from any party, these independent MPs also can join the BJP itself. So that is also a possibility. So, then the stability of the government becomes even more stronger because like in the past term, actually, Modi ji was able to take stronger decisions because he was not dependent on any other alliance partner. So I think that the best case scenario would have been that, and it is only strengthened by all the other alliance partners. Right now, what happens is, even though the BJP does have very strong numbers, and there is very less chance of any of the alliance partners breaking away because none of them have enough numbers to break away in isolation. And even if they do join the other alliance, what has happened is already, if you have noticed that the Aam Aadmi Party has broken away from the India alliance already, and TMC is it's still a fence sitter. You still don't know which way they will go. So most of the other alliance partners of the India alliance, and just imagine that all of them put together, 40 parties, they could not cross the number of 240. So all of that, Mr. Nitish Kumar and Chandrababu Naidu, they're both very politically mature. They know that, they will not stand to gain anything by breaking away from here. So the numbers of BJP and the NDA only stand to increase in the days to come. So I don't see any scenario of any of them breaking away for any reason whatsoever. Somebody may break off for whatever reason, but then even still, I think that the NDA will still remain intact, because the numbers are comfortably there for them to form the government. So the government falling because of any of the alliance partners is not going to happen. So the numbers of the BJP and NDA could increase beneath. So that is how I see it. And I just wanted to add another thing is, in the past, the BJP had offered this special category status to Andhra Pradesh for a limited number of years. So, say for 10 years, as proposed by Venkaiah Naidu ji, and it was repeated by Modi ji also on some occasions. So, that could be a possibility, considering the fact that there was this breakaway of Telangana from the state of Andhra Pradesh. And as Mr. Chandrababu Naidu, rightly says that, the main revenue generator of Hyderabad was taken away from Andhra Pradesh. So they definitely have suffered on that front. So I would say that the best win-win situation would be like, Mr. Himanshu Bhatt was saying, that if Amravati gets a package and they're able to develop Amravati, so it's a big boost to the nation also in terms of digitalization, in terms of the IT capital. And at the same time, the state of Andhra Pradesh also stands to gain from all of this. And Mr. Chandrababu Naidu is a very big visionary. So I think that, this will only give a big impetus to that state as well as to the entire country. So I think that that will be a political win as well as a nice strategic boost to the entire economy also beneath. So I think that things are comfortable for the NDA as of now.
Absolutely. And Professor Giri, stability is what matters in the next 5 years. What are your, expectations of what Modi 3.0 might be able to accomplish, regardless of, the alliance situation at this point in time?
Well, I'm, again, unlike Raj Lakshmi, I'm not concerned about the India alliance. They are not in the government. That has been the trend last 10 years. We are concerned about this new government, the stability of this government, and the performance of this government. I wish, I'm an independent analyst. I wish that this government stays, but I will not rule out the challenges. It will not be a cakewalk, as other people suggest. Politicians are very shrewd, and Indian politics is not as stable as Britain or, for that matter, United States. People change. People change from one party to another. There is no ideological loyalty. Congress fielded, in the Congress candidates who joined BJP, 116 of them are won. There are 116 Congress members, now MPs with BJP. And BJP, the NDA consists of 16 parties. Only 4 parties have more than 4 MPs. So the 4:1 formula also will not work. So it is quite a difficult exercise. But as I said, I wish them to go through this exercise successfully. But it will not be a cakewalk. Let's not forget the volatility of Indian politics. Nitish Kumar has, everybody knows how many times he has changed his positions. He will change for nothing. You see, that is his kind of nature. He is famously fickle. You see, so I would not really be very sanguine about the stability of this government unless they run it well. So they have to be very careful on that.
You're right, sir. In fact, let me get a response to what you have said from Rajalakshmi as well. Rajalakshmi, knowing some of the reservations that Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar bring in, especially when it comes to the federal structure, the agencies that they have in fact conceded have been misused by the central government in the past, and of course the treatment towards Muslims and reservations as well, the quota system as well. Both Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar are in favor of giving the Muslim community some sort of a reservation. How are these topics, sensitive topics, going to gel with the top brass in the BJP?
Vineet, this was a pre-poll alliance. So I'm sure that the top heads of the BJP definitely have given a thought to all of this. And at the same time, definitely, like I said, things are not as smooth as it was in the earlier two terms, because at that time the BJP was definitely in a much more stronger and a dominating position. So right now, definitely the thoughts of the alliance partners and their demands also have to be taken into consideration. So all of that is definitely there. But the only thing is that right now, like I said, the NDA has a number of 303. So now
That has not
the
been
big
confirmed,
party,
Rajalakshmi. That has not been confirmed whether it's 303 as yet.
even if you consider a 292, even then, and if you consider the two major parties, that is even if you consider the worst case scenario, that is the two big chunks, that is both of them move away from the
So even
NDA.
without
Even
Nitish,
then,
even without Nitish Kumar, there's still a majority mark for the NDA.
yes, that is exactly what I'm saying. So even if you consider that both those parties, both of them move away also, then it is a loss of 28 for the NDA, which for them, it is just a shortage of another 8 to 10 seats, which again, now today, if you consider these independent MPs and say maybe a few other MPs, that number can easily be filled in for, which is much more difficult for the other alliance. So, which again, they are finding it very difficult to come to common terms. And like I said, some of their alliance partners are still, they are already moving out. So, this number of 235 or 232, whatever they were talking, was inclusive of the TMC. So, the TMC, we don't know if they're going to be joining them or not. The Aam Aadmi Party has already pulled out of the alliance. So, that side there is something very tricky. So, the major players here don't have much to gain from moving out of this alliance. So, that is something that is going to be a major advantage for the NDA. So, but then apart from that, even then, you never know how strongly someone can put their foot down. So, the NDA definitely has a big challenge up. So, that's
Rajalakshmi, we've run out of time, but appreciate everyone who joined and shared their perspective.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.